Hey, how's it going, guys? Mr. Boss for the win here, and in today's Grand Theft Auto 5 video, I'm going to be talking to you guys about 15 brand new secret features, hidden details, and things you might not have known regarding the import and export DLC, the 2016 Festive Surprise Update, and a whole lot more. So this is the final call for my NERO Shark Card giveaway, which is going on my Twitter. I'll be announcing this sometime later today on Thursday, so you might only have a couple hours or even a couple minutes by this point, so go down in the description. You'll find a link to the tweet that has the giveaway info, and you might find yourself walking away $1.25 million richer. But we've got a lot to talk about today, so let's not waste any more time and let's get it started. All right, the first two things we need to talk about today: Rockstar are adding 2 new adversary modes sometime soon, maybe within the realm of the Festive Surprise Update, maybe a little bit after it, but there's 2 adversary modes. One of them is called Pointless, according to FunMW2, and the objective of the game is you basically collect points to win, and FunMW2 says such pointless mode at Rockstar Games. So I don't exactly know what that's going to be or what exactly that's going to be using. I don't know, but it's called Pointless, and it's going to be one of the new adversary modes that will be coming into the game. Speaking of adversary modes, we know Rockstar absolutely love their adversary modes, and there's going to be another one added as well. This one, according to FunMW2, is going to be called Juggernaut. So it works exactly like Trading Places. However, losers are attackers, and winners are juggernauts. So I'm guessing it's going to be like a David versus Goliath kind of game mode where one team is like super stacked, the other team really doesn't have a whole lot that they can do. And this is probably what these suits are ultimately going to be used for right here, which are juggernaut suits that have been found within the files of the game. Not sure if these are going to be available in free mode like the glowing neon body suits are, but still keep this in mind that we might be getting obviously these big new suits and a new juggernaut adversary mode coming soon. And as far as mysterious things that Rockstar have added into the game, they've also added a app Securo hack script with import-export. Now, this is used in the Rocket Voltic mission, but FunMW2 wonders if they will expand this for future DLCs. FunMW2 goes on to say on the Grand Theft Auto Forum site that it seems Rockstar have made tools designed to help create VIP CEO work, such as Amphibious Assault and Fully Loaded. Vehicle missions is what took them some time, as it's been in development before the release of Cunning Stunts. I'm pretty sure they're going to continue to offer VIP, CEO/MC related work. So what I think this means is that Rockstar has something more planned in terms of becoming a CEO, VIP, or a motorcycle club member, and that a future DLC is likely to build off of one of those things. If I had to take a guess off of what it was going to be, most likely something related to the motorcycle clubs, probably branching off into another sect of a gang, especially because we've got 3 DLCs now: Executives and Other Criminals, Finance and Felony, and Import and Export, that are all kind of around the same general theme. So I guess we're just going to have to wait and see, but that's some pretty interesting info right there. All right, the next secret feature I thought was kind of cool was in the custom auto shop in your CEO offices, there's like a female assistant that just kind of stands there and holds a tablet and points to things randomly. Well, on her tablet is actually a photo of the X80 Proto, which I actually thought was pretty cool. Now, I don't know if that's significant or really means anything. If anything, I think it just means that Rockstar is trying to connect these 2 DLCs, Import and Export and Finance and Felony, which of course is when the X80 Proto released. So that's pretty cool. And that's pretty awesome, and it's kind of a sleek looking design on there, so I thought that was pretty cool. If you want to check that out for yourself, you can, although she moves around a lot, so it is kind of hard to focus on the car itself. Moving on, one warning I want to give you guys regarding the festive loop horns is that sometimes these can actually mess up cars. So because these are free, and we know that free content is going to be taken away from us on January 9th, sometimes Rockstar have a hard time doing that when it's attached to a vehicle. So with clothing, they can just disable it and take it away and we can't wear it anymore. But with cars, since we paid for them, they can't take the car away just because we put a free horn on there. And sometimes what this will do is lock vehicles out of the Los Santos custom shop forever, which is obviously not good if you want to sell the vehicle or make changes. So just be careful, and maybe you need like a reminder on January 8th to get rid of your festive loop horns, because there have been many bugs that have come with this that might end up basically disabling your vehicle. So just be careful with something like that. All right, up next, I know this might be obvious, but some people don't know the layout of the new garages. Number one, you can use this blue circle to move your cars from any level you want. I'm pretty sure people knew what that meant, but I don't think people knew the layout of how it works. So on the bottom floor, you can store 6 vehicles. On the middle floor, it's 6 vehicles. And on the top floor, it is 7 vehicles. And you always spawn on the first floor. So what I recommend you doing is you put the cars you're going to use the most frequently into the first floor for a couple reasons. Number one, you spawn there, but also number two, when you're coming back and delivering your vehicle, the animation to get the car into the garage is shorter because that hypothetical elevator doesn't have to go all the way up to the 3rd floor. So those are just some quick tips that I know, because walking up those stairs to get a vehicle can be a little bit annoying at times. So basically, use this blue circle to move your most important vehicles, the ones you're going to be using the most, onto the first floor. It goes 6, 6, and then 7, giving you a full 20. All right, do you guys remember from a couple days ago when I told you about the fact that there was like a 50% increase on car selling and how it was like only available on the Xbox One for like 15 minutes? Well, a lot of people just assume this was an error, but I think I know what this is. I think this was Rockstar testing the feature to see if it would work for a future event week. Why would they only do it on Xbox One, and why would they only do it for 15 minutes? To me, that sounds less of a mistake and more as if they wanted to see if it would work in game and then quickly remove it, hoping no one would notice, so that maybe in a couple weeks or a month, Rockstar can do an event where they have 50% better car profit selling, which could be pretty cool. So be on the lookout for that pretty soon, because I'm definitely expecting Rockstar to do that coming up here in a bit. Also, a lot of people have been asking me about dune buggies with spoilers. If you play on PC, people might be spawning these in. By default, you cannot get the dune buggy with the spoiler. These were only used in a mission, the vehicle mission, to unlock them. Again, I'm not sure why Rockstar does this. This is another example of them kind of teasing us with cool content, because honestly, the dune buggy with the spoiler, in my opinion, looks so awesome. I feel like this dune buggy kind of needs a little spoiler in the back for it to look pretty cool, but for whatever reason, once again, that's something that they're kind of keeping from us and only allowing to have happen in the vehicle cargo mission. So again, if you're seeing dune buggies riding around with the spoilers, know that they've probably been spawned in by a modder, and you might want to be careful because there's a lot of craziness going on right now with modders and lobbies. So just be careful out there and know that by default, the dune buggy sadly cannot get a spoiler on it. Up next, Rockstar has actually removed the ability to bet $10,000 in races and in wagers. So the reason you might have your betting ability disabled in races is because Rockstar right now is trying to put a band-aid on some serious money glitches that are going on right now. I don't know the exact details of it, and right now it's patched, so even if I told you, it wouldn't matter. But I think it involved like a race and then everyone leaving and then you claiming all the people's $10,000. It was really, really weird. But needless to say, Rockstar have fixed that, and they have also done the same thing to wagers too. So now it's only $1,000, which really does limit your ability to make any money from a glitch like that. All right, moving on. In 2014, we got this elf hat that was pretty cool. It was obviously a part of the Festive surprise, and it kind of had a secret feature. It actually jingled, which was kind of awesome. Now, because I've got the gameplay volume so low, there isn't really any way that I could make it loud enough for you to hear. But if you like crank up your headphones and you listen for this, you'll actually hear this hat jingling, which is actually kind of cool. It was one of like the small realistic features of wearing this. And with this update, Rockstar added an updated glowing version of this elf hat, and sadly it does not jingle. So we traded in our jingle for the glowing stars. I wish you could do both. Maybe this was a glitch on Rockstar's end. I'm not entirely too sure, because it is one of my favorite hats, probably my favorite of the glowing tops that have been added. So I wish that that was the case, but sadly it does not jingle like its 2014 counterpart. It only glows. Speaking of another weird feature regarding the glow clothing, did you know that if you go into any body of water with the glowing clothing, number one, not only will it continue to work, which I think is kind of interesting that it's like illuminating glow underwater, so that's kind of cool, but also there's a weird thing that happens with the water reflection. So even when your clothing is not glowing, the water reflection will show it if it is glowing. So this is kind of pretty cool, and I thought this is a cool thing you could do to maybe freak out your friends friends and say like, hey, check out my shadow. It's always glowing, even though my clothing might be flashing, pulsing, or turned off. So I don't know why this is the case. Other things don't do this, like the Ferris wheel on the pier. It doesn't have that same effect, but for whatever reason, this new glowing clothing does. So I really don't know why this happens, but it is a pretty interesting glitch. And if you want to freak out your friends, this is certainly one thing you could do. Now, I've been playing Grand Theft Auto Online for 3 years, and I just figured out this trick. So you guys might think I'm totally stupid here or whatever, but scrolling through the phone contacts is sometimes one of the most tedious tasks ever. Not only is there no way to delete contacts, but when there's players in lobbies, they're added to your phone. And for the longest time, for all time, I've been scrolling up and down on the D-pad. But did you know if you hit left or right on the D-pad, it will scroll in chunks. So it'll go by like 5 or 6 at a time as compared to 1 at a time, which saves us so much time. Can you imagine how much time this would have saved me if I had known to do this in the past? So if you use the left and the right on the D-pad and you're on the phone, you'll scroll through your contacts so much faster. I can't believe it has taken me 3 years to figure this out. Up next, one thing that someone told me the other day that I thought was pretty ingenious was to either sell your cars before the snow comes, which is likely going to be tomorrow, or wait till there is no snow. So because the snow takes over the world of Los Santos and it is not immune to missions or selling cargo, it's going to be there no matter what you do. Do not sell during the snow. The roads are incredibly slippery. It's hard enough to sell vehicles without getting damage on them anyways. And if you add the extra element of snow in there, it'll just make it more complicated and probably a whole lot harder than it needs to be in order to sell this stuff. So just don't sell your cars when the snow is here. That would be a big mistake. Also, when you are selling cars, one thing I just figured out, and this might have been obvious, but you sell the car based off of where it is in the location. So if you're the CEO, you'll sell the vehicle that's in the farthest left block, your first associate next to that, second next to that, and third associate will be the farthest on the right. I've been doing sell missions for a while now, and I just figured this out. I always thought it was random as to what car you got, but if you want to figure out, or maybe your friend wants a certain vehicle, you can place it in a certain block, and that way he gets it, rather than it just being kind of random, like what I've been doing the whole time. And finally, last but not least, regarding the brand new Truffade NERO, it has one of the coolest features in the game, and that is a retractable spoiler. And did you know, just like the T20, you can break this retractable spoiler. So it does take a lot to do. I mean, you probably couldn't do this naturally. You'd have to really beat this vehicle up, but the spoiler can break. And if it does break, you actually lose that traction bonus. Just like if a spoiler were to fall off a car in real life or even in this video game, you're going to lose traction, and that's not good. Again, it does take a while to do it, but it is possible, and you guys should probably be aware about that. But anyways, that's all the information that I'm going to be talking about for you guys in this video today. 15 brand new things you might not have known about the Import-Export Update or Festive Surprise 2016 DLC. As always with these videos, I try to teach you at least 1 or 2 new things, but hopefully you learned a whole lot more than that. If you did go on to enjoy, a like rating would of course be awesome. And also subscribe to my YouTube channel if you are new or you like daily GTA 5 videos like this. With all the way, guys, like I said, thanks so much for watching. Take care, and I'll see you guys in the next video.